The engaged few says, would it be legal for POTUS to issue an executive order directing the IRS to disregard wages and salaries as income for purposes of taxation?
This is exactly the kind of topic which Robert, who is, after all, a superb tax lawyer, is best equipped to answer. I'm going to venture my own guess, which is no. I don't think he can. I think that would certainly infringe on all kinds of powers possessed by the states, and it would almost certainly be illegal in terms of existing US statutory law, which is extensive. So I don't think he could just issue an executive order to do that. I think, as I said, it would override what I'm sure are acts of Congress. But, again, when I next speak to Robert, I will ask him.
Gerald Armstrong says US and UK are majoritarian electoral systems. That isn't ideal for third parties.
Well, can I just say that's absolutely true of Britain. It was not historically true of the US. The US system was designed not to be majoritarian. That was why you have the division of powers. That's why you have the Supreme Court. That's why you have ultimately the Constitution. Now, to the extent that it has become majoritarian, that again violates the thinking of the founders.
Poppy, thank you for that super sticker. George, thank you for that super sticker. Scott says the SCOTUS protesters will never be held account because laws don't apply to the left.
Yeah, absolutely. You're completely right. I mean, what more to say? I mean, it's shocking. It's deeply disturbing. It's, as Robert explained, violates all kinds of laws. It's criminal. These are crimes. But, nobody's going to be arrested. Nobody's going to be charged. I mean, if you trespass into a certain building in Washington to protest a political move, well, you get everything thrown at you. But if you hector and harass a judge, apparently not.
Bauke says the spark of the totalitarianism has lit up again in Germany. One wonders if there's any debate going on there.
My understanding is that in Germany there has been a sharp shift of opinion over the last few weeks as economic conditions deteriorate there fast. But the political class, I think, is closing ranks and is refusing to heed this.
Adrian Hart says, can we get someone from Germany or France on the show?
Well, we can try. As I said, always remember what we've said on many occasions. We can look around for guests, but there's only two of us, and there's limits to what we can do. We are planning moves to, expand our reach, if you like. But that in itself requires time and effort from us, and we will get there. But have patience with us, please.
George, thank you for that super sticker. Motomoto, thank you for that super sticker. G-Dog says, is that the same U.S. Supreme Court that legalized corruption via Citizens United?
Yeah, I mean, that's the Scalia case that you're talking about. Well, it's not exactly the same Supreme Court. I mean, the lineup has changed. And we've got the three judges, for example, that Trump appointed, who were not part of that particular court. And I believe that there were other judges since then. So it's not exactly the same lineup. As I said, I'm not going to comment on the legality of Citizens United. I mean, I should point out, you can sometimes get judgments which are completely correct, entirely well-reasoned, that may be properly founded on law, and which you still think are unfortunate, to put it mildly, in their outcome. I suspect Citizens United is one such case. Now, in a functioning political system, it might be possible to find ways to address that through legislation, constitutional amendment, or whatever. In this partisan crisis that we have in the United States, those sort of things are impossible. But the function of this Supreme Court always is to administer the law and the Constitution, not to make it. So now, I say that it may be that I'm completely wrong and that Citizens United is wrong in law as well. But I have to say, it may be wrong morally or in its consequences, but it may still be correct in terms of its legal theory.
Sparky says Putin is an anti-globalist hero.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sparky, for that. Jane Lindsay, thank you for that super sticker. Dr. Freak, thank you for that super sticker. Sparky says couldn't care less, not could care less. Thank you very much for that. Sparky Stevo says, what if Putin is on it with the WEF? Great reset plans, a scary thought, and one that would make me forever disappointed.
I can't see it. I mean, would he really go to all this trouble? I mean, would he go to into a situation where he's got war in Ukraine and they're talking about him being a war criminal and putting him on trial for war crimes? I mean, not going to happen, obviously, but I mean, would he be taking all that on if he was really an agent of the WEF? I really don't believe it.
The engaged few said, considering how well China respected the One China, Two Systems agreement in regards to Hong Kong, Taiwan walking away from that might be a good thing.
Well, I understand the point. The only thing I would say is there's the issue between Taiwan and China, and then there is the role that the United States is playing. And if the United States is encouraging Taiwan to secede, to declare independence from China, or to declare de facto independence from China, then of course the danger is that it's provoking a reaction from China, which will be catastrophic for Taiwan. So the most important thing here is not, I think, to stress about what Taiwan and China do between each other. It's to worry about what the United States is doing. I say that because I don't get the impression that China has any particular desire to go to war over Taiwan, and that if there wasn't this aggravation from the United States, or rather from the neocons in the United States, this thing would be allowed to fester along.
Boris, thank you for that super chat. Paul, thank you for that super chat. Motomoto, thank you for that super chat. Yamza, thank you for that super sticker. Lechat, thank you for that super chat. And Alexander says, best show on the internet. They killing the real concept of freedom of the press. I hope Julian Assange, the hero, gets his victory day. Get David Icke on.
Well, lots of points there, but can I just say, I mean, on Julian Assange, you're absolutely right. I hope so too. But I've come to the conclusion that's going to happen in the United States, not in Britain. I say that with great sorrow because Britain is my country, but I am very disappointed by the conduct of the courts here.
Zuxi, thank you for that super sticker. CSK, thank you for that super sticker. Michael, thank you for that super sticker. Radovid, thank you for that super sticker. Rich says the U.S. military has no capacity to win against the Russian military. They will be obliterated if they intervene in any way and will have their biggest casualties ever suffered. Kinjals, Zircon are enough.
I basically agree with this. I think people in the Pentagon are utterly horrified at the idea and would certainly oppose it. But does the empty suit and the Oval Office think like that? And do the pack of neocons who surround him think like that too? That's the worry.
Olga says Biden spoke about strategic win. It looks like a win for the U.S. to get Sweden and Finland to NATO, for Macron to get Ukraine, Moldova, Georgia as almost EU members, and for Russia to get the land.
I don't think it's going to work out like this. I mean, first of all, bringing Finland and Sweden into NATO, I was reading a good piece by Anatol Lieven on this. And Anatol Lieven has not been, in my opinion, particularly good on the Ukraine war, which I don't think he really understands. But he's made the point that Sweden and Finland gain nothing from joining NATO. It's an actual reduction for them in their actual role. Then they will now become provinces, if you like, of the Euro-Atlantic system instead of actual states. I don't really see that NATO gains anything ultimately, despite what people say. I think it's going to take on a whole set of new obligations and responsibilities, which are not going to help the NATO at all. And as for the United States, I am very much of the view that NATO is a burden. and all of that. As for France, I don't think the French are going to get Ukraine into NATO, into the EU or any form of EU. The Russians have now said that they oppose it. They've come out clearly, no EU or anything approaching that for Ukraine. And of course, they've got their boots on the ground, and I'm sure sooner or later they will make that stick.
Bulakov says, in my defense of Russia amongst friends, an inconvenient counter was presented. Dennis Pushilin pinning a medal on the chest of a militiaman with an NAZI emblem. Easy to find via Google. Insights,
I know. I've heard about this, and it was I'm not entirely sure what to make of that photo, but it was a disastrous mistake. But look, let's not make comparisons. There may have been one or two. There may be some people like that on the Russian side, but they are not an organized force in the way that they are on the Ukrainian side. There is no equivalent in Russia or in the DPR of Azov, Aidar, Right Sector, or any of these groups.
Pasha says, Alexander, your dog looked very happy entering the room. It brought a smile to my face.
Thank you very much. That was Solveig, the girl, by the way.
And that is everything. Thank you very much for your questions. The Duran shop, 10% off when you use the code GOODDAY. And check out the Duran.locals.com. Thank you.